Hello, so this is a reaction video to Jillian Michaels on Surrounded. Fitness influencer surrounded by body positivity activists. If you are thinking I'm probably gonna side with the fitness influencer, you're most likely correct. Because honestly, body positivity is something that I feel is a little bit ridiculous in a lot of ways. I get the point of what they're trying to do, but I also see some flaws and some ways that they're lying to themselves as well. That said, let's watch, let's see what happens, let's see what is said. Let's go.
Would you say that it should be against the law to discriminate against people based on their body size?
Unquestionably.
So why don't we see more fitness and wellness advocates?
I want ding-dongs in my lunch. You know what my mom bought me? Low-fat ding-dongs.
Expert and a health advocate, and today I am surrounded by 20 body positivity activists. All right, my first surrounded claim is that obesity is not healthy, and pretending it is puts lives at risk.
If you want to be the first debater, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hi. I'm Edie.
Nice to meet you,
I'm an
Edie.
eating disorder therapist. I'm going to do my best to not use the O word because I find it pretty offensive. So I'm going to use fat-bodied as we talk.
Okay.
Do you understand why people find it harmful and triggering?
Overweight and obese is literally just having too much body fat. It has nothing to do with the quality of the person.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Are we going to debate the claim?
Yeah, I just wanted to. Yeah, I wanted to clarify though the language.
Are we going to pretend like I'm a 3 and you're my mommy, telling me how to talk?
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So the claim that you're saying is that it is inherently unhealthy to live in a fat body.
It's inherently unhealthy to have excess body fat, yes.
Okay. Where are you getting that information from?
Okay. There are dozens of MRT trials that show having excess body fat. Dozens is causal, not correlated.
No, that's not true. There is no disease that just fat-bodied people get.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But obesity lends itself to all-cause mortality across the board. Have you heard?
Is that something we need to debate? The fact that it is less healthy to be fat, to be obese, and to not be. And the crazy thing is, the woman turns around, she goes, well, but there's no disease that only fat people get. You know, being fat isn't like the only determinant of being unhealthy. It's like, who said that that was the case? This is ridiculous.
Have you heard of something called adiposopathy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know it means literally sick fat. And you understand how it works?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell me how it works.
So it's an additional layer of fat in the stomach area.
No, that's not what it is. It works as follows. When we eat too much food that has energy that we're not utilizing, the body needs to put that energy somewhere, right? So it puts it in fat cells. So it puts it in initially subcutaneous fat cells, a little bit of visceral fat, which is fat around the organs. And at first you have hyperplasia, which means we're recruiting new little fat cells, which isn't necessarily a bad thing up to a point. Now the issue is that once you can no longer recruit more fat cells, right, you get hypertrophy. So the fat cells start to expand. And this is exceptionally dangerous because what ends up happening is the blood vessels get outpaced. So the fat cells can't get oxygen and they start screaming, literally. And when they do, they release cytokines, inflammatory proteins, right?
I want to pause.
No, of course you do want to pause.
Okay.
Because it's irrefutable. You don't even know what I'm talking about. So,
Jillian, okay, first of all, I don't appreciate the way that you're speaking to me right now. You called me out for just trying to understand the languaging and saying I was talking to like a 3-year-old when I felt like I was talking to you very respectfully. You're talking to me very disrespectfully right now.
Here's the thing.
And I want to...
You're telling me you understand it, but you don't understand it. You fundamentally didn't describe it accurately.
But what I understand is that...
What's lipotoxicity?
I don't want to talk about, I am not, okay, here, I'm going to say this straight out. I am not a medical doctor, okay? So I'm not going to talk to you about medical diagnosis because that's outside my scope and I'm fully willing, hey, I'm fully.
I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm going to argue with you over the claim that being obese is basically unhealthy. Like, make it make sense. Okay. You know, I need to watch more. I need to watch more because there's a lot I got to say. And we haven't yet reached a point where I'm really going to be compelled to say the stuff I need to say, but it's just kind of, oh my God, it's so ridiculous. Anyway, let me just carry on.
Fully willing to be wrong. What I am here to talk to you about is the fact that people in fat bodies are irreparably harmed going into the medical system every single day because of the term, the O word.
So that's what you want to litigate?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the claim though.
The idea that fat-bodied people are inherently unhealthy is, I believe, incorrect.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong.
There's a robust amount of data.
I'm not wrong.
Okay, so
Because
let
you
me
can't
finish
look-
the
you
thought.
can't look at-
Then let me finish the
Let
thought.
me finish my thought first,
Okay,
please.
sure.
You can't look at a person's body and tell whether or not tell their health status.
So fat is an endocrine organ. When it overgrows, it does wreak havoc in the body. I didn't finish telling you what happens. So when the oxygen can't get to those fat cells, they'll die and they'll rupture. And then the immune system starts dumping macrophages in to try to clean it up.
But do you know what's
But they
even more
can't clean
unhealthy
it up.
is weight cycling. And as we talked about earlier, only except for your people who
claim.
So notice this, right? This reveals a lot about the mindset of this woman and a lot of people who most likely inhabit the body positivity movement. She said weight cycling is a lot more unhealthy than being obese. Now, I don't know that it isn't. It probably is. But what is she implying right there? What is subtly implied by her saying weight cycling is inherently worse than being obese? Do you know what it is? She's implying that it's one or the other. You're either obese for life, or you yo-yo up and down, up and down, up and down. You yo-yo up and down, up and down, up and down. So she does not envision a scenario in which you can lose the weight and keep the weight off. She doesn't even think that's possible. Why the hell did she immediately jump to that? You know what I mean? So what is the implication? The implication is I cannot overcome this thing. And fundamentally, this is what is going on with people in the body positivity movement. I've got more to say, but I'm gonna wait a little bit. Let's just get back to it though.
If you want to talk about that claim, we can. The claim is...
So then what are
that
you supposed to do though? So let's say this person is in a fat body and they are inherently unhealthy, right? We're telling they're unhealthy because they're in this fat body. What are they supposed to do?
Lose the weight and keep it off. Good God. Like, I can't... What do we tell this person who is a drug addict and they're addicted to heroin? What do we tell them to do? Find a way to get off the heroin. It's like, if some obese person wishes to stay obese, I don't care. Doesn't harm me in the least. But at least just be honest about what's going on. Don't come with this bullcrap about, I cannot change my situation. No, you can. You literally can. Anyway.
Significantly more prone to all-cause mortality. For me,
Intentional weight loss fails 95 to 98% of the time. So what is the...
why though? You would probably know this better than me.
Because weight is not an individualistic pursuit. You narrow it down to this idea that it's causal, like that they're just not trying hard enough. But that is...
I didn't say that. It's multifactorial, unquestionably. A lot of people lose weight. The problem, right, is that they put it back on. Are we in agreement?
Yes.
Okay, great. Why do you think?
Okay, we got to pause there.
God damn it! All right,
I'm sorry.
John, I'm getting somewhere.
Yeah, but
All right.
voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
I have lived in a fat body for like as long as I can remember. And I've known very many fat people. And I don't think any of us, the people that I know, I can only speak to the people that I know, I don't think any of us are pretending that we're okay with it. what I want to say here is I live with autoimmune disorders, I live with chronic illness, and I'm also neurodivergent. And this is, the body positivity movement has made it so that I can tolerate this life. I can find ways to thrive, even still. But I'm not pretending that this doesn't bother me. And by bother, I mean that it doesn't hurt to carry my weight. I'm willing to concede with you that carrying around extra weight is harder. It is. But it must be.
I know I sound very, unsupportive, intolerant, uncaring, or something like this, but I find that mindset to be so weak and actually pathetic. I don't respect it at all. So she lives with these conditions, and I feel sympathy for her living with these conditions. But just because you live with conditions doesn't mean you have to let your conditions run your life. You still figure out a way around stuff. Now look, if she's there saying that the body positivity movement gives her a means to live with her condition and feel like she's not terrible. Great, I guess. Yeah, great. But let's just not lie about what's actually going on. What's going on is that she believes that because of her conditions, there's certain things that she can't do. Okay? That's it. And she does not believe that she has what it takes to lose the weight. She's scared. She feels like fundamentally she's lacking and she doesn't have what it takes to look like Jillian Michaels or women she sees on Instagram or whatever. The body positivity movement is a refuge because it says, you know what? You don't have to hate yourself for being the way you are. Cool. But let's call it what it is. Because, all right, look, I am not body positivity appropriate, right? Clearly I'd be the kind of person that she would be like, well, you don't understand my struggle. All right, cool. I was overweight as a kid. I wasn't obese, but I was overweight. And then when I was 14, I just started working out. I lost it. That aside, right? This type of talk here reminds me of what you hear from a lot of black people. What does that mean? A lot of black people have a belief that being black prevents us from really succeeding because the white man is in charge of everything and the white man is keeping us down. And because of that, they don't try to succeed. They just wait for the white man to give them a bone. That is weak behavior to me. My mother always said this to me when I was growing up. Bearing in mind, I was growing up in the 80s and the 90s when England was not like it is today. She said, Kieran, these people, speaking about white people, don't think you're a human being. You need to work 5 times as hard to get 50% of the respect. Irrespective of whether or not that was true, and to be fair, there was a lot of truth to it in the 80s and 90s, trust me. That said to me that even if you're down to 10 men, to use a football/soccer analogy, you can still win the game. You just got to be smart and you got to be cerebral. Don't quit, don't give up. These people don't have that mentality at all. They quit, they give up. Look into my eye, right? Look into my eye. Look into, can you see my right eye? Can you see the ring around this eye here? Yeah? Now look into this eye. There's no ring there, right? You see? You know why? You know why it's different in this eye to this eye? I had eye surgery. I had a cornea transplant about a month ago, right? That's why this eye here looks different. Why am I bringing this up? My vision is terrible. Terrible. It's not good. I've had poor vision for a very long time. So bad that, you see the distance I am from my camera, if I wasn't wearing corrective lenses in this eye, I wouldn't be able to see the camera. I wouldn't be able to see myself in the camera. I wouldn't be able to see a damn thing. Here's the point. Even with my corrective lenses, my vision still isn't good. It's not great at all. When I went to Bali, I'm going to just be honest. I went to Bali and it's like, I thought I'd just get public transport in Bali when I lived there during the pandemic, but there's no public transport in Bali. It's like, oh crap. So I had to start riding motorbikes. Truth is, I'd never actually driven a car, right? And I'm riding motorbikes in Bali where it's dangerous as all hell, where the roads are chaotic, where death literally awaits you at every turn. That's not an exaggeration. And I'm doing that with poor eyesight, having never driven. How did I do that? I developed ways to compensate for the fact that I can't really see. So I realize that I don't need to see signs, I just need to see shapes, right? And if I see a shape, it's like, okay, that shape is a car, that shape is a truck, that shape is a bike, I can navigate. I realize that I need perfect focus at all times, and I can't listen to music or podcasts because I need to be in the zone. I adapted that way. At night time, if I was like driving at night in Bali, what I would do is I would outsource my vision to the person in front of me. So there'd be someone in front of me and I'd follow the light of their vehicle, and I would just follow them. And it's like, I know that I don't need to really see what's going on because they're in front of me, and as long as they don't crash, I know I'll be okay because I'm behind them. I did stuff like that. Over the years, I've found many ways to work around issues that I have, which people could say like, oh my gosh, how'd you get around that? How'd you get around that? People say to me, Kieran, you travel the world. How'd you do that? Because I'd be scared to do that. You've got your eye condition. You just figure ish out. These people ain't figuring ish out. That's it. So this woman is under no obligation to do anything that she doesn't want to do, right? She doesn't have to fix her, she doesn't have to get in shape, or she doesn't have to lose weight. She doesn't have to do nothing. But what I'm not going to do is sit here and co-sign and be like, yeah, you're right, because you got this and this and this, and because you got this and this and this, well, you can't do anything. No, you can. You literally can. And I mean, that's it. She's scared, and the body positivity movement allows her to feel like she's good enough. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? But like, I get why someone would want that though, because look, speak about black people, right? I'm sure every race does this, to be fair. Like, I know every race does this. I'm pretty sure like there's white people who are like, yeah, we're the master race, like the white man's burden and stuff like that. Black people say stuff like that too. Black people say stuff like that too. I've heard black people say, actually, black people, we're like the superior race, and it's just because we've been held down, but we're just superior to other races in all ways. And when I hear that, as a black person, I'd be lying if I said there's a part of me that wants to run with that. Why wouldn't I? Who doesn't want to be this friggin' superior race? You know what I mean? But why do I want to believe it? Because it's comforting to me, isn't it? It's comforting. And people just run with what's comfortable, and that's exactly what this woman is doing.
I don't know that I agree with you.
Okay. Tell me more, please.
Well, tell me why you think it must be done.
Because I've worked really hard to not have this.
What does that mean? Like you beat yourself up in the gym or something?
No, I don't. That's not fun.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to understand what you mean.
What I mean is that I grew up with a number of undiagnosed conditions, and even I can think back to like middle school, and I couldn't keep up when the PE teacher would make us like run laps, and I'm like, this is physically aching me, and I didn't understand why. And I didn't understand why because I grew up with a single parent, undocumented single parent. We were bound to the medical system that we had access to.
I understand.
I've done what I needed to do a number of times to try to lose weight.
What did you try? Tell me.
I've worked out at the gym. I've tried to do Pilates. Even yoga. Okay. Even yoga hurts me.
Okay, so the exercise causes you pain.
The exercise causes
condition. Okay, no problem.
Right.
I'm with you.
Dieting, for example.
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think that food makes very much sense to me in my neurodivergent brain.
This is where mechanistic eating actually helps people who are neurodivergent, and the research supports that because it doesn't have to make sense to you.
Okay.
In other words, it's like you eat on these schedules and you eat these foods and you eat this much, hence the concept, right, of mechanistic.
Hard pass. I don't like that.
I understand that you don't like it, but you'll have to decide which you don't like more. Carrying the weight or the mechanistic eating? Because it actually could be helpful. There are other ways forward, but you told me you tried them.
I tried a whole lot. There's a lot of other things to be concerned about. I'm also a social worker.
She's tried a lot. Now let's keep it a buck. Do we really think that she has been committed to any method of weight loss that she has tried? Like, let's just keep it a buck. Do you think that when she went to yoga 3 days a week for 4 months? Do you really think that? She clearly didn't. Here's what she's done. She's tried yoga and she's gone like 2 days a week for maybe a month. Then she got scared or it was too hard or whatever. She found an excuse to quit. Then about 4 months later, she tried something else for like a week or 2 weeks or 3. And then she quit. Then somewhere down the line, she tried something else. Like, that's what she's done. And she says like, exercise hurts me. All right, so deal with the pain. When I work out, it really hurts me at my age. Hurts. Deal with the pain or find a version of exercise that doesn't hurt you. I used to run on the treadmill. Then running on the treadmill started to hurt my knees. So I started using the cross trainer instead, because the cross trainer takes the stress out of my knees. These people are weak. Like, that's just it.
A lot. There's a lot of other things to be concerned about. I'm also a social worker. I work with youth. There are a lot of...
Let's go back to you.
Yes.
Tell me.
I'm saying for me, right? There are many things that I'm more concerned about
Okay.
than my weight. My body is not the most interesting thing about me.
You just brought up your weight and said, I don't see a way out of this.
Right.
I've tried everything.
I
I'm telling
take
you
care
that,
of it in the ways that I can, and I've found works for me.
But you just told me it didn't work for you.
But it works to an extent.
You just told me it didn't work for you.
It works to an extent.
Then this is an irrelevant conversation if you're happy with it.
I stand on 10 toes down, that we are not pretending that
But
this
there's
is
healthy
okay.
at any size. There are absolutely elements and aspects of the movement that do put that messaging into the universe. I've had those debates.
You've said...
I've had numerous
I want
debates with
to-
people who are body positivity activists that try to tell me that they can be healthy at any size. And it's just...
Why did I even pause this? Honestly, I know I sound bad, but it's just like, I can't get behind this mindset. Because I see what this mindset is. This has nothing to do with them being fat. This has nothing to do with the fact that this woman's fat. It isn't that. What it is the fact that this mindset here is like, I can't win. That's what I'm hearing. It's, you don't understand, I can't win. I hate that mentality so much. There is no element of society in which I see that mentality and I respect it. I think it's absolutely pathetic. It triggers me on a core level. Like, just no. No. No, no, no. It's gross.
And I disagree with that.
All right, we gotta
You've
pause
used
there.
shame.
We
You've
have to
used shame as a
pause.
vehicle.
And I'm sorry, we have to pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Got it. Okay.
What I'm curious about is if you care about people's health and you have people in front of you, and I'm sure you have people online who are telling you that the body positivity movement, or I prefer body liberation, body justice, body acceptance, body blah, all the good shit that we like,
Okay.
actually increases their health, then I don't understand your debate. Like, what are you debating if the fat people are telling you it makes their life better?
I'm debating their physical health, and I'm debating the people who claim that you can be physically healthy at any size.
Okay, do you think you can be physically healthy and mentally unhealthy at the same time?
Of course, but that's not the claim.
Okay, sure. I think the part where I get stuck, I am a mental health professional. I work with people from a body liberation standpoint. I work with people in all shapes of bodies. What I know to be true from my experience is that body positivity, body liberation helps people take care of themselves. It's very difficult to understand why you think somebody is going to take better care of a body they hate. Like, why body positivity would not inspire people to take better care of their
Strawmanning
bodies.
my argument. I never said you should hate your body. In fact,
No,
you
you
should.
didn't.
Okay, so I don't think that. What I think is that there are people in the movement
Yeah.
who have co-opted healthy at any size, and it went from access to healthcare
Okay.
to quite literally meaning for them that you can be healthy at any size, and that's not true.
Okay, I mean, the studies show that if you're very, 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 very thin, or your body is very, 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 very big, it is more difficult to be healthy. That is absolutely
But
true.
then you agree with me on this point.
I don't, because I don't think body positivity is the dangerous thing. I think hatred of fat bodies and people hating themselves and people living in self-loathing because they've been taught that their body is the wrong shape, that's the danger.
Both can be true at once. So let's look.
Here's the thing with people who advocate for body positivity. They want to live in a world where the only downside to being overweight is the fact that people might think you're unattractive, ugly. That's the world they want to live in. If they live in that world, then what they can do is they can say that those people are vain, shallow, and then as a result, they can just inoculate themselves from judgment, which are well within their rights to do. But the fact is this, having a good body is twofold. It's number one, looking good. It's number two, literally being healthier. And that's something that they just don't seem to want to face at all. There's no benefit whatsoever. And it's like, something I see body positivity people saying is effectively the idea that your body, the way your body looks, isn't actually that important. Like if you remember the last woman, she said, there's much more important stuff going on than my body and what my body looks like. All right, cool. Same woman who says that, I guarantee you, she'll go out and get herself a nice bracelet, a nice necklace, a nice jacket. She will design her home, her bedroom to make it look nice. She will buy a MacBook that matches the decor of her bedroom. She will get a car because the car looks pretty. She will clean her home to make her home look pretty. She will clean her car to make her car look pretty. If you truly believe in the tenets of body positivity, that says to me that what you're trying to say you believe is that aesthetics aren't important. It's not important for something to look good. If you truly believe it's not important for something to look good, then it really and truly, God, 27 minutes, it really and truly should not matter what anything looks like. So if you're a body positivity influencer, why are you curating a gorgeous Instagram feed? I've seen some of these influencers, their IG feeds look beautiful, so colorful, and they're in loads of like beautiful outfits. Why? Because they're using the aesthetics of their outfit, the lighting and all of the colors to make up for their bodies, right? But they still believe in aesthetics. That's the reason why they'll have a nice home and all this stuff. So aesthetics are either important or they're not. If they're not important, then it doesn't matter what anything looks like. Anything. Here's the thing that these people don't really want to admit. Someone will take care of their home because they'll say like, my home, it's my home, and you gotta have respect for your home because it's, you know, it's where I live, blah, blah, blah. Your body is your soul's home. This right here, this isn't actually me. Like, me is the entity that is operating this. This is the home that my soul is using to interface with this 3D environment we call Earth, right? So if it is important for me to look after my house, my home, my car, it's really important to look after this. Good Lord, like this is the only possession I have. Because I could lose my house tomorrow. I could lose my home tomorrow, same thing. I could lose all my clothes. I could lose every possession I've got. I can't lose this. The second I lose this, I'm dead. This is the main thing to take care of. And the sad thing for these body positivity activists is the fact that the thing that makes you quote unquote look good is also the thing that makes you healthy. For instance, right, if you're a man and you're overweight, do you know how likely you are to have erectile dysfunction? Likely. It is very likely that you will have erectile dysfunction if you are obese. You know what I mean? So if you are clinically obese and your penis ain't working, you can take Viagra, or you can get in the gymnasium, start doing some cardio. You know, it's up to you. Anyway, this has been long enough, and this is a great video, by the way, so please do check it out. It's on the Jubilee channel. Jillian Michaels is a G. Like, I love this woman. I've liked Jillian for like about 10, 15 years or so. Like, she's, you know. I have a soft spot for women with some backbone, you know, that have opinions and shit. I like that, and Jillian's got that in spades. This is the man manual, right? Your manual showing you how to be a man in 2026. Oh yeah, and by the way, what would you get from this, right? If I haven't made it freaking clear. Good Lord, don't be a weak bitch. Please, for the love of God. If you're like one of these people, you're like, oh, okay, I'm overweight and this is it, this is me, I'm overweight. Cool, right? Be that person, but do not try to lie to yourself, lie to me, lie to society that you don't have what it takes to change it. Because, no, you do. And it bothers me that there's so many people who think like this, and it's just like, sometimes I think I give people too much respect. Like, too much respect, because I hear that, it's like, bro, how the hell am I supposed to respect you? Like, figure out a way to get it done, or stop complaining. Like, you don't even have to do it, but if you're not gonna do it, like, okay, years ago, I met this woman, right? And I wanted to do some filming with the woman, so I said, hey, like, can I film you? And she said, no. I would like to do that, but that is outside of my comfort zone. Because it's outside my comfort zone, I'm scared, and I'm not gonna push I'm not gonna push myself. I am too scared to do that. I am comfortable being too scared to do that, so I'm not doing it. I respected it. She owned it. She literally just owned who she was. So, you know what I mean? Like, if you are too afraid to go to the gym because you think that in the gym there's loads of people with sexier bodies than you and you're intimidated, own it, right? You're a drug addict and you're like, oh, you know, I don't know if I can give up the drugs, you know. I don't think I can because, oh, I need the drugs. I really want these drugs. I need these drugs in my system. And the truth is, I don't like the thought of life without these drugs. Own that. If you are too afraid to approach women because you're like, I'm not good enough to approach these women. These women wouldn't want me. I don't have a big enough penis. I don't have a good enough body. I don't have enough cash in my bank account. Cool. Sweet. Then just own it. Anyway, that's been it for me. And if you like to cut the jib, like and subscribe. Like, subscribe, please. Oh, by the way, please do like and subscribe. Another thing is, I'm also an author and I've written a book, right? It's called N-Word. Now, what it's about, it's actually an erotic thriller. 85-year-old white woman dies and is immediately reborn in the body of a 23-year-old black OnlyFans model, goes on a journey of erotic self-discovery. But it's also dark as well. It's dark as all hell. It's powerful. It's gripping. It's got great reviews. There's a link in the description. Please do buy my bookie book and thank you for your time.